Hey guys, Moose here. We are back in our Stonehearth Ascendancy playthrough, and first thing, right off the bat, we're being invaded here, but I also got a potentially very helpful tip from a viewer, which is that I should take my military, it may have too many people, and separate it out. So I'm going to do this right now. How do I do this? Party number 1, edit party. Okay. So I want only knights in this first party. So I need to see, you know what, I'll do knights and then footmen, and that's good. Party number 1. There we go. Now, party number 2, I'm gonna add all the archers. Done. And party number 3, I'm going to add all the clerics. Okay, let's see if that worked. There we go. Okay, it worked. So let's see, potentially now this will improve their following of orders, potentially. So far, that does not appear to be the case. Oh, maybe it is. It's hard, it's difficult to say here. Everyone's kind of going. So we might have to wait until after combat. Oh shit. You guys need to get back over here. Well, this is a problem. This guy's gonna die. You need to fucking listen to orders. Yeah, okay. So this isn't... It's premature. We don't really know yet, but so far this isn't helping. So that's a problem. I want everyone else, maybe they'll listen to orders. I want everyone up here. So if I tell them to do that, are they going to do it? Okay, so everyone else is following orders, but the knights, not so much. Interesting. I'm going to have to kind of figure out how to micromanage this. Anyway, the fight's going, so we can just go full speed here. People are getting low on health, but that's just because they're low level. The clerics are there and should be able to deal with it as we start killing some people. Or as they start leveling up. If someone dies, I'm not that worried about it here. Okay, footman level 3, character sheet. You are absolutely... This is Brom Kellock and Leah Stroden. Yeah, both of you are going to be... Wait, what have we got? One of you is going to be an archer. Okay. Okay, let's take a step back here. I want to deal with this real quick before I forget what I want to do, because I'm getting kind of mixed up here. This person is going to be an archer. You're an archer. And you are a knight. I don't want too many knights. So we're going to stick with that for now. I think that's a pretty good balance. We get 4 of everything. Okay. Add member Leah Stroden. There we go. And I think that's the only balancing we need. So we'll have 3 knights, 4 clerics, 4 archers. I think that's a good mix. Just in case, let's make some extra bows. So let's sell some stuff. Sell that. Speaking of which, oh right, I'm just gonna sell, I think I did this in the Raz Children playthrough, but I'm just gonna sell all the hide, because I don't need leather right now. There's genuinely no need for it, so I might as well just get it out, because it's gonna accumulate again anyway. I think we'll keep, like, I could sell this stuff, but I kind of want to maybe use it to burn through leveling up my, my engineer. That wasn't the button I meant to hit. There we go. Is this recurve bow? Okay, we got plenty of recurve bows. Never mind, I was going to make extra, but it looks like we have plenty. It's been so long since I queued those up that I can't really remember what happened with them. So yeah, I think I was reading the Riot's Children episode, I think, that went up yesterday. I was talking a lot about how stressed out I am and how shitty things are right now, and they're still pretty stressful. I've got a lot of things that I really, like, I have no choice but to deal with over the next week, roughly. Should probably just use that, didn't even see it. It's still rough, don't get me wrong, but things kind of lightened up a bit today, and I'm feeling a lot better. Like, yesterday I had trouble sleeping because I was just laying in bed thinking about, like, what am I gonna fucking do? How am I gonna do this? And it's still a little bit up in the air. I'm gonna still have some issues, but, oh, that was a really weird... I know we used to have people start up there, but I don't know why they're doing it now. It's kind of strange. Are they just not gonna build this anymore? Is that where we're at now? That would be unfortunate. Let's take a look at our quarry. They're still mining. But yeah, things got better a little bit. Not fixed, not perfect, but better. So there's a little bit less stress on the moving out front, and work is still stressful and taking too much time, which is why I'm recording this at like midnight, basically, when I should be sleeping, and I've wanted to sleep since I got home from work, like, at 5. But there was more work to do, and I needed to take care of some things, and I cannot afford to fuck up my sleep schedule to that degree. Right, I wanted to look at my chef here. So, no choice, just gotta keep on rolling. It's got like 75 knocked out. That should use up almost all of it, I think. Should use our eggs. It's used for this. We need to do a cornmeal and make cornbread. Cornbread, you know what? Cornbread's still... I haven't had cornbread in so long, but corn is such a precious commodity that's going to be hard to do. Is there anything else I can use eggs for? Not really. So it's basically... I mean, I could just fry them. By the way, I've been thinking... I don't know why, but this always bothers me. This is not really fried. I mean, yeah, I get it. It's pan-fried, and that's, you know, I fry chicken like that. But if you say fried chicken, it's not pan-fried or seared or whatever you want to call it. That's not what that is. Fried is, usually, at least in the US, you'd consider that breaded. And I know that's incorrect, unless you're talking about stir-fry. But that's specifically, you don't consider stir-fry to be a fried food. You consider stir-fry to be stir-fry. And then you've got... What else is a good example? Fries are fried, obviously. Yeah, everything else like fried chicken, fried, you know, tonkatsu, chicken katsu, that stuff. I know I'm just going with American and Japanese food because that's largely my diet as far as that kind of stuff goes. Yeah, I don't know. That's, oh, we need to make arrows. That's what we need to do. Yeah, just make like 5 of each. But yeah, like fried eggs or oh, fried rice. That's what I was gonna. That was the other one that's like not really fried. But well, no, I don't really have a good excuse for that one. It's fried rice. It's just fried rice. But it's not like that's not fried to me. I like it. I actually. I don't know, like, having this conversation, now I'm, like, 100% all in, like, I'm making either fried rice or stir-fry this weekend. It's probably gonna be stir-fry. I haven't made it in a while, I could really go for some. I kind of tempted to make both. I don't know, Karen might be here this weekend, I'm not sure yet, so we might have to see what she's in the mood for and then pick something that we're both happy with. She might want... Well, it's a 3-day weekend, so we might go to our... I want to say it's our favorite Japanese restaurant, but really, truthfully, it's my favorite Japanese restaurant. And I hope she likes it too, but, you know. Ultimately, it's... I wouldn't say I'm being selfish. I think she does enjoy it, but it's still, like... Saying it's our favorite is a little bit unfair to her, I feel. But we might go there. We'll have to see. It's a little pricey, but I don't really care. Food, like, I've looked at my spending habits, and I don't really spend that much on anything, but food is, like, not that big of an expense for me. It's kind of one really interesting thing I found. I'm kind of getting off on a tangent here, but I think it's an interesting thing to talk about, because if you've only ever lived in one place, you kind of have a very constant expectation of food quality and food price. But if you've lived in a few different places, it's actually wildly variable. And this is something that I've always found pretty interesting. because if I look at my time in Toronto, I felt like, I mean, some of it's not that... Okay, now's the time to try our military here. So part of it is because I wasn't working when I was in Toronto, so from my perspective I had much less money, which inherently made everything else more expensive. So it's a little bit more complex than I might be letting on. But, okay, well that worked, but... Okay, yeah, get a new person. I'm not really thrilled about how this is going. Move you guys back here. If you could get those guys to follow you, that'd be fantastic. Yeah, it seems like that's happening now. Okay, so this is good. Now where are our archers? Because I don't know where they went. Dude, you guys cannot be back there. That's not acceptable. They're getting their shit kicked in, or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, so, like, food in Toronto was generally much worse than it... Like, produce was shit compared to the standards that I'm used to. And I was like, oh, well, I only eat the best... No, it's not like that. It's just when you live in California, you're used to things being pretty damn fresh. Because everything's grown here. So you get it, like, right away, pretty much. Everything is fresh for them. Oh, okay. All produce is fresh, generally speaking. With the exception of some stuff that's really seasonal. And even then, it's like, all right, well, if you need heat, you get it from Mexico in the winter, and if it's, you know, you need something colder, you get it from like Washington during the summer. So we can kind of get everything pretty close by, and it goes fast. And it's also a well-populated area, so all the processed stuff like bread and things like that, you've got a good selection, and it's also a very diverse area. Toronto was very diverse, but the part of it that I was in didn't really afford me much opportunity. Like, I didn't have a car, and I didn't like going on public. It was like a 3-hour trip to go most places, so, such as downtown. So it was difficult for... Why do we have ladders here? This is so bizarre. Must be fixing something. Or they just still haven't finished building this? I don't know. But it was a very involved trip to go get, like, anything. So even though Toronto was extremely diverse, it's actually one of the most diverse cities in the world, getting to the luxuries that diversity afforded that area, which was, you know, having access to a very wide range of foods, wasn't really an option for me. I basically had Walmart actually Walmart, and stores like Walmart, and that was it. There wasn't, I'm sure, like, there were little places, but it was, like, to be blunt, low quality, and kind of like suburbia, like real suburbia. This is the thing, for California, like, I'm in the suburbs, but it's not really the suburbs, in my opinion. Because I could drive for, like, maybe 5 or 10 minutes and get to, like, a pretty high quality cuisine from, like, almost anywhere. There's an Ethiopian restaurant over here, which I really don't have any particular desire to go to, but I'm aware of it. So there's all kinds of shit you can get over here. But in Toronto, it felt like everything was much more spread out, and then you factor in the snow, and it's, you know, it's much harder to justify going to these places and trying things. So combined with the lowered freshness of everything, because it has to be shipped in from relatively far away, and then all the relevant price increases that also come along with that. Not only they're not as fresh, but also they're not going to be as cheap. Food just wasn't as good. Like, most of the food I was eating over there was like, okay, well, you know, I got pasta. You know, you can't, there's no way you're going to get not fresh pasta. That's a joke, right? You could make it yourself even, it'd be no big deal. No problem there. Then I've got, alright, well, I'm going to take Campbell's cream of mushroom soup, mix some milk in with it, and then put cheese in. And none of those things require significant freshness, really. There's just like, you unless you're somewhere that doesn't get stuff regularly, which, you know, is possible. There's parts of the world that are like that. You're always going to have fresh, that, you know, all that stuff fresh. So Oh, and salmon, of course, but that was frozen. So I probably could have gotten fresh salmon, but I just, like, that was not an intelligent decision from a budget perspective, so that just never happened. But yeah, out here, it's all, you know, if you're going, I'm not talking about restaurants, by the way, I'm talking about, you know, grocery store food. It's just, it's fresher and it's cheaper here in California, so it's much easier for me to kind of just do whatever the hell I want, and, you know, it's like, hey, I feel like getting broccoli. It's alright, well, you know, I'll just drive over to this, you know, and by the way, I'm like, not just, I could go to any store here, like even Target or something is going to have relatively good produce. Not as good, like, there's the more hippie chains that, more hippie chain grocery stores that are like all about having organic shit, like Trader Joe's, for example. They're going to have probably, Trader Joe's is probably the most prolific good one, I think, that generally has really good produce. But there's another one that I go to that, you know, is near where I went to high school that's like really fucking good. And it's just a small one-off place, and I always, if I can, go there for produce. Because it's amazing. It's always good. I particularly like their apples. But spinach as well. Chicken, or not chicken, what am I talking about? I wouldn't go there for meat. But, you know, a lot of stuff like that. Do I need to make anything here? I gave them a lot of stuff. Oh, okay, that's almost done. What do I want to queue up next? We're still really tight on jerky. That's a little unfortunate. Make another, like, 20 of that. Let's make it 25. It's nice and easy. 25 times 3 is 75. Yeah, I can do 2. Okay. We have 2 chefs, so I'm just going to do 2 so they can kind of share the workload. That'll help with our food and maybe our net worth, but I don't know if that's how it works. I'm hoping that continuing... I know this is taking... Probably one major issue with this is it's taking wood to do it, and I'm wondering if we're out of wood and that's why it's having issues doing this. They're not doing it. But I just cut down some trees, so I don't understand why that might be the case. But looking at this, you can definitely tell, like, it seems like they're not having enough wood to do what they want to do. And did I not put a door? Oh my god, I did this whole thing. Oh no, I did. Okay, they're here. Right? That's a door. Okay, it's been so long since I started this fucking thing that I don't even remember if there's a door or not. I might have to destroy this and start over, because this does not appear to be working. I think this is just too much for them to handle. I really don't want to, but I kind of feel like I might need to. It also really bothers me that you can't build another house on top of a house. That sucks. Or at least not easily. Nah, I don't really think I need to buy any food. I'll sell some stuff though. I'll let the hides accumulate for a little bit. That's not a big deal. But yeah, it's I didn't really have the same variety over, like, I'd never really think to eat apples in Toronto because it'd just never be, there'd be such a premium probably on apples of the quality that I'm used to from California that there's just no way. There's just no way in hell that it's going to be to the level that I'm interested in eating. Because I'm not really that into apples in the first place, but you give me, like, if you give me a good, fresh Fuji apple that's crisp, I'm actually, if it wasn't midnight, I'd go get, I have a few in the kitchen, I'd go get one right now, but I should have done that earlier today. I actually planned on it, but I completely forgot. Give me one of those all day. Absolutely delicious. Love them. Not too sweet, not too sour, just perfect crisp. That's what I'm in for. That's what I want out of an apple. But if it's like, if it's a little bit mealy, that ruins everything. So it's got to be perfect. And yeah, I'm picky, but I blame California for that. I'm a picky eater in general, but for that one demanding a certain level of quality just from something as simple as apples, I feel like I blame California for that. It's just, you know, I'm spoiled because it's, just to give you an example, I have extended family no longer living, but this is like in the past, who, you know, they, dude, come on, get with the times. You're breaking all my fucking, okay, there he goes. You know, I have, I think, ancestors that owned apple orchards in California. You know, it's in the family history, so to speak. Dude, you gotta stop. Like, this is not okay. You're gonna die, and I have no sympathy for you. Dude, just follow your fucking order. Really, you're gonna die? This is... I'm pissed. Because it was doing that thing again where, like, if you're too far off, it'll go back. And that's just, frankly, I'm sorry, but that's not acceptable. Just follow the fucking orders, please. And it kind of exposes that flaw that I've been whining about with the combat where, you know, having them run away with it, I get how you might think that that's like a good mechanic, but it's really fucking stupid. With the way the combat works, having enemies and your characters run away in that way just fucks everything and makes archers incredibly stupid to fight against. It's fine with melee characters for the most part because they just kind of go back and forth, but if you're going to give people bows, it kind of ruins the whole mechanic, in my opinion. So anyway, I don't like it, but I'll shut up about that for now. And we got a new person because we had an idiot go get himself killed. I shouldn't have let him do it in the first place, but it really shouldn't be down to me to not let it. And they're doing it again. The only reason it's working is because they're all doing it together. Irritating. Oh well, we'll get him leveled up quickly enough. But yeah, food is like, honestly, I don't understand why anyone wouldn't cook. And I know we're going over here. I'm going to end the episode shortly because it's pretty late and it's also overtime here. But food is like such an amazing thing in life. Why would you ever not like enjoy that to the fullest extent that you can? Really, you're just going to sleep out here, huh? Alright. I'm going to see if maybe, at least before I end the episode, maybe they're more responsive to guarding. I can get them to guard over here. Because that would at least help, because they'll be all together when the attack comes. But I think, from what I'm seeing, they're not even really up for that. And the thing is, it really doesn't help if just one or two of them come out. It has to be all three groups. Yeah, they're not at all interested. So maybe I'll just leave it up and... Oh, one guy is. The new guy is. And then random lady wants to talk to the new guy. Archers account. Okay, so maybe if I just leave it for a bit. I still don't think that, like, is functional from a gameplay standpoint. They need to either go or not go. Because if you just let them trickle in, now what happens if I get attacked right now? Now, well, I've got, like, two people who are definitely going to get killed because they're squishy, with no healing or tanking support. And I've already given the order to come out here, so it's not like telling them again is going to make them come. It's just, Anyway, I'm going to do what I actually said I was going to do and stop whining about it. Because it's getting to be a broken record, but what are you going to do? It's unfortunate too, because it's just such a core thing, but oh well, life goes. Oh, we got a cleric, so maybe after restarting the game, when it starts up, they'll all come out here and that'll be easier. But for now, that is going to have to do it for this episode. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, even though that's like our 30th episode overall that has involved primarily talking about food, but hey, what are you going to do? Food is amazing. And I'll see you in the next one. Take care.